Hi, welcome to Tinfoil Handkerchief Tarot, where the energy never lies and the ancestors got jokes. This channel is for entertainment purposes, though tarot and oracle cards are great tools for reflection, clarity, and confirmation. With collective messages, if something comes out that doesn't resonate with you, the overall read probably isn't for you, though there may be messages within that are. The way I read cards is more about self-reflection rather than prediction, so while you may find some helpful insight, think of it more as the potential to preemptively heal aspects within self. Please keep an open mind and honest perspective, and if you don't come in peace, please don't come at all. This is a general collective message. Okay, so we've got Animal Guardian, Trust Your Instincts. On the bottom of that deck, Traveler, Move in a New Direction. We've got Fourth House, Home, which is also Cancer. And we've got Juno, Partnership, which is a planetary body. And then for the tarot, we've got the Four of Swords, the Six of Wands, the Seven of Wands, and the Hierophant. And it's interesting because the Four of Swords came out in the last reading in a different deck, so it's represented a little bit differently in this one. It's interesting because these four cards here seem a little bit different than these four cards here. Like, this seems like home and work. It could be like work-life balance. But like, trust your instincts and move in a new direction. It's like knowing when to make adjustments. And with home, that could be within home life, but home as it pertains to the fourth house is also relationships, which makes sense with Juno and partnership. Also, it's really interesting that the animal guardian has all the animals around her, and then Juno is some birds. Oh, and that's interesting that Capricorn is underneath because Capricorn came out in the first reading today. But home is more about partnerships. The way I interpret it is how you create the life that you want to live, right? So it's kind of like you might not be where you want to be right now, but don't be afraid to make adjustments along the way. But also with this fourth house and Juno, I'm thinking of it in terms of healthy boundaries. And that kind of goes with what I was saying about like work-life balance as well. Because see, she's like cradling the baby deer, right? And the birds are more like a symbol of, like, the way I interpret it in this reading is more of a symbol of like autonomy, but also in this case, how we are able to bring our authentic individual selves into partnerships, right? So like with the animal guardian, I take it more as like a nurturing the home life, nurturing partnerships, and how we show up as our best selves in our different aspects of life. What home means to us, right? What we take care of, what we nurture, how we partner, that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm getting like healthy boundaries, right? So healthy emotional boundaries, healthy boundaries within partnerships, and then healthy boundaries when it comes to work-life balance, right? So the Four of Swords is like a rest card, right? You go home to rest after a hard day's work, right? It could also be, like in terms of this reading, it could also be self-care. Six of Wands is more about success. Seven of Wands in this deck is more about maintaining success or how you build on that success, which all of that makes sense in terms of the Hierophant. It's becoming like a better version of you. It's like the wisdom you bring to the different areas of your life, which makes sense in terms of this reading as far as emotional boundaries go, because like when you're young, you want to spend time with all of your friends all of the time. You'll put in all sorts of overtime. You'll do all of these things that'll maybe burn yourself out, and you don't make as much time for self-care, right? But as you grow and you have more experience in life, you have more experience in partnerships, you have more experience in work, you are able to understand and trust yourself. You have the wisdom to know when to say, hey, I'm a little burnt out right now. I need to take some time for me. I need to make some time for self-care, right? Because you can work hard to achieve a goal, but like also knowing when you need to take a break. It's one thing to be ambitious, but you also don't want to be overly competitive. You don't want to become obsessive with achieving the goals, right? And like the Seven of Wands in this deck is like you want to be able to maintain that level of success or that level of achievement, or you want to get promoted one day if you're looking at it in terms of work and stuff like that. But if you keep operating in a state of burnout, you may be doing well at work now, but if you overdo it, you're actually going to burn yourself out so much that you're not going to be able to maintain all of the different aspects within your life, right? Like that's what I was talking about with like finding a healthy balance within different aspects, right? Knowing when you need to focus more on home or focus more on family, or take time for yourself, or invest in your partnerships and put the time into work, right? You can't give all of yourself to everything all the time. Sometimes you need to scale back a bit and give a little bit to the different aspects, but make sure that you have some still for yourself. Like you have to find balance. You can't give 100% to everything in every different area of your life all of the time, especially if you only have 100% to give, right? But you're able to balance all of that better if you take some time for self-care. Once you have the wisdom to learn how to balance all of those different aspects, then you're able to be successful and you're able to maintain a healthier energetic baseline for yourself, a healthier emotional baseline, better relationships. You're better able to contribute to your work. You're able to do all of these things. But with the traveler move in a new direction, as far as this goes, I think it's just knowing where to direct your energy so that the different areas of your life don't suffer, right? So like if you got a big project at work, you're focusing all of your energy at work, then you're probably not paying as much attention to what's going on at home. You're not investing as much in your partnerships. You're not nurturing other connections. And when you trust your instincts, it's like trusting your instincts in knowing when you need to make those adjustments, right? Like trusting that you know when you're getting to the point of burnout so that it doesn't get to the point of exhaustion. It's like trusting your instincts in saying, okay, maybe it's time to take a little step back. Maybe I need some time for self-care. Maybe I've been ignoring my partner a little bit. We should go on a date night or something along that line. Maybe, I need to do my yard work, knowing when to make time for what. That's what I was saying with like healthy emotional boundaries. There's a way to manage things so that you're not letting things go for so long that it becomes overwhelming to deal with them again. And then you become more burnt out when you're thinking about how you need to deal with them, right? It's a matter of going, oh, I haven't done my yard work in a couple weeks. I'm going to make some time for that this morning, right? Or, oh, we haven't been on a date night in a while. Let's go for a date night. Or, oh, I've been putting in a lot of overtime recently. You know what? I'm going to take a day off to relax and do something that I love, right? You have to nurture yourself, and it's like you got to fill your own cup before you fill other people's cups. And that's not like in a selfish way. It's just that you're able to be a better version of you if you're not exhausted and you're not overwhelmed and you feel nurtured and supported and loved. And if you're not getting that from other aspects of your life, then it's important to make time to do that for yourself, right? Like, maybe you don't have a partner, but maybe you just want to take an evening off, take a bubble bath, watch a movie by yourself, turn off the phone, not think about work, not thinking about who's calling you or the expectations that they have, and do you need to make an appearance here, and do you need to go do that, and you know what I mean? It doesn't mean ignore your responsibilities. It just means how do you avoid a level of burnout so that you are able to to bring your best self to all of the things that you need to bring yourself to, right? Like the responsibilities that you do have. How do you go about being successful and maintaining all of that without giving up too much of yourself? And that's not in a selfish way. Again, in terms of this, it's about, I think, emotional boundaries. And the trust your instincts and the Hierophant for this, I think it's more about listening to yourself and listening to your body when it tells you, like, hey, maybe I need a break. Maybe it's time to slow down a bit. Maybe I need to reevaluate something. Oh my gosh, this is funny. So underneath the Hierophant is the Hermit, which is like taking a step back and relaxing. And under the Traveler is Winter, take care of your needs. So it's totally knowing when to take time for self-care and not overworking yourself in any aspect of your life so that you're able to give equally to the different parts of your life, but also remaining emotionally balanced within yourself and not being overwhelmed or burnt out so that you're able to continue to be productive, continue to be successful, continue to improve and do better in your life, right? But you can only, again, in terms of work, you can work all of the overtime, right? And maybe it'll get you a promotion. But if you're always working and you're working 80 hours a week or whatever, there are other aspects of your home life. And again, home is a lot of things. It's right. Like there are other areas of your life that are going to be harder to fix and are going to take more energy to get back to a natural, normal baseline, rather than if you learn how to sort of divide your attention in a healthy, positive way. And when I say divide your attention, it's more about, again, what I said with healthy boundaries, it's more about learning how to balance what you need at home, what your partner needs, the responsibilities you have to your family, to your partner, to work, to yourself, it's trying to find a way to balance everything that you need to balance in a healthy, positive way so that you can give the best version of yourself to all of those things without giving too much of yourself to one aspect to the point of burnout where you feel like you have nothing that you can give to the rest. Like you're emotionally spent, so you don't want to go hang out with your partner. You don't want to clean your house. You don't want to do your yard work. You don't want to work the overtime, right? But you also feel guilty for, taking a bubble bath or taking a night off. Whereas sometimes if you take a little bit of time for yourself, you're more energized and rested and you feel like you have more to give to the different areas. Whereas if you don't take that time to rest and you don't have those emotional boundaries in place, then it's going to always feel like you're giving, and you're not getting as much in return. So you will feel overwhelmed and you will feel burnt out. So it's a matter of knowing when to make adjustments, knowing when to rest, listening to your body in when you need to do that, when you feel overwhelmed. How do you take care of yourself? Like, what does self-care mean to you? And just having the wisdom and the discernment to know when there are things that you need to take a step back from for a minute, to just take care of yourself, to be able to get re-energized, to be able to bring your best self to the different aspects of your life, right? Again, like fourth house and then all of these cards, to me, it says work-life balance, right? And then partnership is right over home, right? So it's like, how do you balance all of these different things within life in a way that you're able to give to all of them without feeling too energetically depleted? And the answer to that is usually just knowing when to take time for your own self-care so that you're able to take a rest and re-energize, so you don't feel like you're too burnt out and then you can't not feel exhausted, right? Like when you feel exhausted, take a rest. You don't have to feel guilty for saying, hey, I need a minute to just focus on myself. But again, setting healthy boundaries is not taking too much time for yourself that you're not giving to any of these other things, right? So you find the healthy balance, you find the healthy boundaries, and the wisdom is knowing when to give and when to take a step back and go, hey, I just need some space for a minute. You know what I mean? In a healthy, positive way. Once you've reached a certain level of success or achievement or whatever in your life, that you're able to maintain that without there being a regression because you're over giving to certain areas, right? Without putting any of that energy back into yourself and only focusing on achieving the achievements or getting to the next milestone or making it through the week just to relax on the weekend. Like, you know what I mean? If you're struggling and you're overwhelmed, take the time to relax and kind of introspect and just take it easy for a little bit. But again, it's about finding balance and setting those healthy boundaries and knowing how to attune to listening to your body to know when you need to give more or less to the different aspects within your life. So that's what I've got for this reading. If you'd like to see more general collective messages, please subscribe to the channel. If you would like to book a personal reading, please check out my Etsy shop or check out my other YouTube channel, Tinfoil Handkerchief Alignment. Until next time, keep the peace.